All right. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Hero in the top left side. It's the group stage of the Esports World Cup. He's coming in with an early probe against Cure down here. Cure for Team Liquid. Hero, of course, for Twisted Minds. Ready to twist Cure's important thing. Well, I don't know if he's... I'm really curious what happens in this series. What does the style look like? Hero, of course, is a beast of variable styles and variable play. I wonder how Storm-focused he is in this tournament, because we feel like everyone's very Storm-focused. We feel like that's kind of, if anything, the overpowered way to play in PvT is, you know, get Storm, cut out the 2-base all-in options with the SCV pulls and stuff, unless they can hit really early before Storm and get in there and do some damage. But whenever something feels overpowered, it feels like that's when Hero doesn't do it, and he goes and does completely other random things like Triple Oracle or something, which no one is doing in this matchup right now. So I'm kind of preparing myself to be surprised by whatever he does. I'm not trying to predict what Hero is going to do, because it's just so unlikely that he does something predictable. Pulling off gas here is Cure. It's going to be a Reaper into a Factory. I do think Hero has an edge over Cure. I think Cure is really good against everyone in this matchup that is not Hero. I think Cure against Classic, I would actually love to see, because Classic is fantastic in the matchup and very safe. But Cure, it seems like when the Protoss is a little bit more predictable, gets into his rhythm very, very nicely. And I would love to see that matchup. But as it is, Cure against Hero, I'd say Hero comes in as maybe 60% favorite, 60-40, maybe a bit more than that even, actually. Just depends. Haven't looked at their recent results leading into the tournament, so who knows? Maybe that adds a bit more suspense. There's probably some stats nerd out there who's like, Hero has an 83% win rate against Cure this year or something like that, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know. There are... Oh, I like that probe hiding, but Cure's looking for it. The probe's trying to hide so desperately, but no, he knew it was down there because he saw the battery had just started and it didn't have time to get back to the high ground, I don't think. Oh, maybe it did, actually. Oh, 2 kills. Wasn't this Cybercore before Nexus as well, guys? Am I crazy? Or was this Nexus before Core? It had to be Nexus before Core. Losing 2 probes is rough. Yeah, no reason for those probes to be on the low ground that early, in my opinion. But because here... Wait. Yeah, that's odd. I guess he did the super early probe and the... Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, if you probe scout at the start of the game, it does slow your build down. He didn't actually slow the Reaper at all, because this is a long map. He didn't slow the barracks getting down. Ah, that's why. Okay, so normally when you send a probe across the map so early, you can delay the barracks getting placed. They have to build it a bit further back, which delays the Reaper getting out. The barracks is usually delayed by 2 seconds. The Reaper takes an extra 2 seconds of walking distance across the map, and it kind of flows in like that. But as it is, oh, great defensive setup. Hero well aware of the threat here. As 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions coming. He's going to have to use a force field, of course. Just needs to make sure he doesn't get blocked, and the Reaper Hellion will bounce him. But Hero sees what's going on. He sees the second barracks started. Looks like a Widowmine drop to follow up this 3 Reaper 2 Hellion, and a second barracks, no doubt a third one to follow. The trick here for Cure will be if... What? Why is his sentry not in position? Hero! Hero moves his sentry away from the ramp. What? Why would you do that? 4 probes do go down. So I stopped looking at the natural because I was like, well, yeah, he clearly can't get in and do any damage. He's just going to have to deny the third. But Hero decides to walk over to the ramp. I think he thought the Reapers were going to jump to the high ground, but in that case, the Stalkers should have gone up here to deal with it. Send 1 Stalker to the ledge, maybe 2, and he could have done that. But 3 Stalkers are now in the main. They're going to get rid of this Widowmine drop. Oh, that's huge! Absolutely massive. And look at the way Hero pulls away the potential targets. At the same time, the Reapers ran in. They got killed. That actually ends up being great. This is super worth it for Hero. Hero, you know, he lets you kill 4 probes to lull you into a false sense of security. Makes you think, yeah, you can find damage. And he's like, nah, just kidding, idiot. And of course, he does get a nice quick third Nexus. 440, not a bad timing at all. Slapping down the Widowmine as well as the Reaper Hellion. You got to realize, this was a delayed expansion for Cure. And now, because he has no pressure, he's got to deal with Stalkers on his side of the map. Ideally, he would have been able to go much quicker into just stim bio without building 2 siege tanks. Just 1 siege tank, wouldn't have had to build a second bunker. But instead, he's building a second bunker instead of an engineering bay. There's no 4th gas. There's no engineering bay. He's got a depot building, thankfully, does Cure, down here in the natural. So he's not going to get 2 supply blocked here, but definitely a situation where losing that mine drop makes things much cleaner for Hero, who's still keeping Stalkers on the edge because he doesn't want to let the Raven in the back. He knows on this map that Raven's going to come down the left. 4 Ravens will stop that getting behind. Very, very big move. Very big move. Third Nexus is there as well. 4 Stalkers on the edge. Raven. Not going to be able to get in. We've got Charge. 3 more gateways on the way and a 4th one. So Hero's playing... Wait, what is this build, guys? He's going Charge off 2 gas. No Forge? If you're going to play Mass Zealot, you need a Forge for an early armor or attack. But he's building shield batteries as well. So Hero's expecting a fast all-in. Oh, he's expecting a really early push, and he just wants to have Mass Zealots ready for it. This is a fake move out for Kura, I believe. Kura, of course, plays a lot of mind games against Hero, and Hero plays mind games back up against him. Why are these siege tanks so dark? Is it just me, guys? Or are those tanks... Is that a special skin? They just look a bit darker than normal siege tanks, right? Kind of looks like they've got extra shadow on them or something. Did my bloody graphic settings change? I don't know. You guys let me know. No engineering bay. No, there it is. Okay, so +1 is still about a minute and a half away. But it's just Immortal Zealot for Hero. No extra gas, no Forge. He's kind of doing just a Zealot Immortal all in. And it's kind of like, I think he expects Kua to push into him, and then he can just jump on the army and cleanse it. But it's so weird, because he's going to... What does a 4th Nexus do for you if you don't even have a Forge or splash damage? It's useless. Sorry, guys. I know I hate on Hero's styles, but like this one just doesn't make that much sense unless he had full vision. He sees that this is a pretty normal build from Kua. Yeah, like he's building a 3rd CC. He's got a very standard setup. Tech Lab will go down. Oh, these Stalkers are in trouble. He's going to blink and recall. Good move. Good move. Great move by Hero. Buys time. He's still just building Immortals and Zealots. I mean, he might just swarm this army and crush it, because remember, Kua doesn't know what he's facing off against. But just bizarre to do this with no Forge. Usually a low gas style is all about getting some upgrades to make these Zealots scale reasonably well. But if this army just gets big enough, it's going to wreck this style. And he sees no gases on the 3rd, sees no gases mining. And Kua pulls back, realizing, okay, I would have liked to scan here, because then he could see this gas and these 2 gases, and that would have given him even more. Like right now, Kua doesn't realize these gases are missing on the natural. So this could be a 4-gas play for Hero. But Kura, I think, has maybe caught the edge of the army and realized, it's a lot of Zealots, let's play it a bit more careful. 4th and 5th barracks on the way, 3rd command center as well. Hero, still no Forge or splash damage is just absolute madness, guys. Oh, but he's going to go for a Mass Zealots there, and he shoves the front at the same time. Kua not looking. Guardian Shield doing so much work. Oh no, Kua, I thought he was playing safe there, but he loses a bunch of stuff. Zealots are on the production as well. Widow Mines will be going down. Very nice move here for Hero. Hero does need to go splash damage or a double Forge behind it. Otherwise, even if he does good damage, he may die to a follow-up all in, but never mind. He split the army, and Kua just caught a bit too far out of position on the front. The Mass Zealot did find the surface area they needed. Yeah, that's and look at that. He just shoves the natural. Shoves the natural, takes out the Marauders in the bunker at the same time. Left side of our screen, those Zealots pull away, making it really hard for Kua to micro everywhere he needs to. Bio's going to try to go over to the 3rd. Hero just overwhelming with mass unupgraded Zealot off 2 gas. And Kua's going to be so annoyed at this, man. So annoyed. Because he's like, oh, really? You just mass Zealots today with me? Well, Prism in the main's really good, man. Prism in the main is really good. Most players would not be confident continuing to invest in such a basic army off such a basic economy for such a long time. Hero is not any Protoss, though. He has a really good read of like what his opponent's thinking in the game, and he figures out, hey, you don't, like, this is such an unusual thing, you won't expect it, right? The reason what Hero's doing works so well is Kua never in the world expected him at this stage to not have anything, right? He's just started double Forge at 9 minutes. The build order on paper of Hero, as so often is the case, it works so well as surprise factor due to its lack of straightforward logic and efficiency. But it works because Hero isn't just thinking about straightforward efficiency and logic. He's thinking about logic and efficiency when it intersects with the opponent's expectations. And that's where it's found the value. His army, like I said, still sucks at this point. Like, it's still just unupgraded gateway units with a couple sentries and immortals. But he's got a good economy now because he took that 4th base. He has probed up a little bit, most importantly, transferring from the main. He'll also transfer from the natural in about a minute and a half down to this gold base. And that's what allows this to be so effective. And Kua has got to feel a little bit cucked. His Raven has done nothing this game. He hasn't used it for a single spell. I would love to see him clear this Observer out of his main and whatnot, but down 22 workers. Now Hero's got all the time in the world to work. I'd love to see a double gas for Hero and start that Storm or transition. I think it's really hard for Ghost to ever be afforded by Q. Either Storm or go Colossus. Maybe Colossus is better with the setup you've got. Oh, he's going to get ready for a bit of a flanky there. Prism's kind of exposed. He's going to come in now. Zealot's coming from behind. Stalkers as well. And that should spell disaster. Stalker's going to blink after him. Doesn't get any of the full medevacs. Does get a Raven. Kua able to escape for now, but is he able to even defend his natural? I think he needs to unload on the high ground or the ramp or something like that. Sentries are there. Not many force fields between them, but a split there. Trapping units on the outside would be deadly. SCVs have to evacuate. Look at the baits for Hero. The baits, he wants to get him with the force fields there. Does trap a bunch of Marines partially. Zealot Stalker coming in for both sides. The SCVs get slaughtered on that third base. 1-1's not quite done for Hero, but he's just got the numbers, mate. And remember, 1-1 upgrade advantage, it's decent, but when you're outnumbered like this, it seems not to matter too much. Cool style for Hero, and it's so... I always feel like a style like this, it's so bad if you lose a game like this, because you just... What were you even doing if you lose a game like this as Hero? And your opponent's like, okay, I can just win games. But if you win a game with this sort of strategy, it's the Terran who really doubts himself, because he's like, oh, what was that? How do I get a read on this? Like, what does this mean about how you're planning to play this series? Well, it means Hero is going to play like Hero. He's going to do builds that are peculiar, that are hard to read, that are a little bit befuddling, and it gives you zero information on what Hero is going to do in the next game. And that is what's so frustrating for Kua right now. If you put himself in his shoes, what do you change? Well, you've just got to be on your toes. You can't be getting your army caught out front and have a Prism warp in 10 Zealots in your main, drop 4, unload, warp in 8 more as well. Hero gets himself a rather chilled out victory there. Shutting down the Widowmine drop, I think, really big for his momentum and control. And from that point, just committing, I think it was it just 55 probes up until he jumped him? I think it was about 55 probes, right, guys? So at this point, yeah, 55 probes, just 3 mineral lines, 2 gases, like no forges, no other tech, just charge and blink. Everything is into the limited gas, is the early Stalkers, then a few Sentries and Immortals. Everything else is just Zealots and the Warp Prism. I mean, that's why he's got so much stuff. It's just a crazy amount of things, right? If the Terran can get a bunch more Marines and Marauders out and fight in good positions, it's great. If these tanks stayed at home and he managed to protect them and deflect things, even if he has to lift his third for a while, it's totally fine for Kua right now not to be mining off of his third. But he thought, just from what he saw in this game, oh yeah, you got multiple batteries and stuff. Yeah, you don't have gas on your third. He probably assumed this was 4 gas. Like I said, if he'd scanned here, he would have seen, oh, you're at most at 3 gases, because the only gas he wouldn't be able to see is this one. And he'd see no gas, no gas, no gas. That is where I think Kua would have been much more cautious. With a Widowmine or something out front, his army at home, looking for a Prism, looking to defend, and being very ready to lift this third base. And that's what Kua needed to do to survive this. Move out to take his third just a little bit later when he's not caught off so much by the Warp Prism. GG, well played though. Great fight here for Hero, and a fantastic start to the series. Alright guys, going to game 2. Kua in the top right side of the map, Hero in the bottom left, and once again sends a probe across at the very start. Now this is one way Kua, we know in a best of 5, is always going to go double proxy barracks Marauder at some point, but if Hero keeps scouting at the very start, maybe that scares Kua away from the proxies that he's known for. Now notice with this one, he should be able to block the barracks going down here, force the barracks to be built further back or something like that. That's going to delay the Reaper. Does it delay the barracks going down at all though? No, he doesn't block it. What are we doing? Didn't block the barracks, mate. That's like, I feel like that's one of the best things you do with this. I think he just thought we could block it, but no, this is a really good job. Kua did have to hop the SCV off. That delays the Reaper building by about 1.5 seconds usually. And does Hero go... I like to go for this early probe and then go Nexus before core. I'm not sure if he did that last game or not. Either way, your buildings are very delayed behind this, but if you can delay the Reaper a little bit, you can get away with it. Question is, can he actually delay the Reaper? Because it looks like this Reaper is probably going to be coming out by 2 minutes. For those who don't know benchmarks, Reaper should pop at 1:58 with a perfect build order. Often it pops closer to 2 minutes, 2:01 anyway. If you delay it to like 2:03, 2:04, you really buy yourself a bit more time. It is indeed the Nexus. Yeah, I love this opening. It's so cool. I've so many times I've talked to like top European Protoss players and said, I love this opening. If you send the probe across at the start, go Nexus before core. Yes, your core is insanely late, but you can mess with their build enough. It can really give you a massive start. Is it going to work? In this case, yes, because there's no Reaper. He's gone Marine into Reactor. So Hero's going to get away with it. It's a higher risk build order. It's not as stable. That's what I love about Hero's openings, is all the little gambles and things that you could do to cut corners and try to get leads. Hero will do that stuff. And even when it's considered unsafe or unreliable, I think that's why he's so exciting to watch, you know? I think there's such a mindset of like, this is the best thing to do. And don't get me wrong, there is often good things to do, but something I really learned, especially playing Protoss, is that I feel like Protoss, it has natural openings where they are just vulnerable to dying. No matter how you play Protoss. Whether you play super safe, or you play super all-in, or crazy dynamic, there are just so many variables. And if you play like Hero, I actually think, on average, you're going to be way harder to kill. Because you're so much harder to read. It gives him more kill timings. It makes him harder to pin down. Makes it much harder for his opponents to pick their attack timings. I really like this idea of mixing in more wild openings. And I think it's a cool way to play. I don't know. I think you could argue, especially if Protoss is doing like really good in the meta, maybe the balance is really great for them. You could argue is right now, maybe this is not as good as just playing like a stats style, you know, a Rain style back in the day, a Neeb or a Showtime style. But definitely when the meta is bad for Protoss, Hero has shown he's still able to make it to those grand finals, and he's still able to do incredibly well no matter what. Cyclone is on the way, but it's not out just yet. Stalker here with the Adept providing high ground vision. Really nice job. And that allows him to bully the Marines back. Nice micro for Cure. I'd like to see him pull back that Reddit Point Marine and hide it. Yeah, pulls back the damaged Marines. He's going to keep the healthy ones up front. Pulls back from the Shade, knowing that only lasts a few seconds. And good micro by Cure, but of course Hero just being as annoying as he can. Once the metamax out, he can heal up. Once the Cyclone's here, it can push these units away as well. We do have, it looks like, 2 more gateways coming in. So it's going to be a 3-gate Blink Robo. He's also got a second pylon here. This is a fugly wall-off. Like, his units to get around his base have to go like this, guys, right? Actually, I think there is an opening here. No, not anymore. So yeah, his units have to go like this. This is such an ugly wall-off of his base. Like, his Stalkers can't even move around his own base. On the other hand, it does delay units pushing into his base, and oh my gosh, it's going to be a tank push. It's Marine Cyclone into a tank, guys. Looks like he already killed the Adept with the Cyclone. There is a probe watching, but he's not watching the right path. Oh no, all of his, it's 4-gate, it's not even 3-gate, sorry, it's 4-gate Robo, but his gateways are all exposed on the front, his battery's exposed. You know he's going to pick up the tank and boost it over there, guys. Where is that tank? Did he leave it? He left the tank behind. He's going without the tank. Is that a mistake? Or was it just he didn't think he could wait long enough? He wanted to deny the third, but there is no third base. Oh, I really think Cure could have killed him here, or at least done crazy damage if he had the siege tank sieged up here early enough, because this is such a vulnerable natural. And look at the way the Stalkers have to move around this base. It's so awkward. But Cure was just looking for a third cancel. He's playing very cautious. He doesn't want to overcommit into a hero who's playing such a dynamic style. The problem is if he gets caught on the map, he could get overwhelmed, and charge is already coming in. Dude, guys, is this just gonna... Okay, so Hero is clearly expecting Cure to play like he did in the GSL Season 1 finals and just do like boy pool all-ins and stuff. So Hero's entire style is gonna be go charge incredibly early every game, wait for the Terran to move across the map, and then just swarm his army. He's kind of playing almost like a defensive all-in style. He's going 6-gate on 2 base. He's building an Immortal. He does need to actually make Zealots, though. He's coming forward right now. Stalker's trying to blink away. He needs to go... Oh, he should go out to the right side. He shouldn't pen himself in the natural... Yeah, he's got to stay outside, because if he gets penned up his ramp, it's really bad for him. But oh my gosh, he's cornering his own army! Hero, what are we doing? We should be microing that side! He just cornered himself a little bit, loses a few Stalkers, does get a few units, but look at that. Bunker behind, Siege Tank in a lovely position, Banshee up front, which will have Cloak soon as well. Oh, Bunker does get cancelled, he rebuilds it. Another 2 Stalkers go down. Hero is in a disastrous situation right now. Those Stalkers should have been cutting off reinforcements and maybe blinking on this tank to snipe it and withdrawing and that sort of stuff. The early charge is actually a really good move against this sort of build. It really is, but he's lost so many Stalkers already. 4 Stalkers have gone down. Losing probes now. 5 probes. Gateway goes down. He really wants to drop the Immortal on top of the siege tanks to clear the map. With 2 bunkers coming up, it's going to be tough. I love that Cure pulls back to his own base. He's got a 3rd barracks coming up. This is an insane game right now. Absolutely insane. Because the Zealots wreck against Marine tank unupgraded, but 2 bunkers. Does that help out enough? Guardian Shield is really good. He's got to move that Sentry in. He's got to move that Sentry in. Okay, it doesn't matter. He's got too many Zealots. I think it's a good cleanup here. Hero doing some nice hot pickups, saving some of these low hit point Stalkers from the siege tank shots. That is a brilliant cleanup. So efficient. But, uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. We lost track of the Banshee. Killer says, you know what? You may have cleaned that army up, but I'm already up 14 workers, and I'm going to make it even more. Comes in, gets 4 probes, forces Stalkers to warp in. If he can survive in his natural, he's fine, but he doesn't wall off. He hasn't walled off! Oh my gosh, dude, against Mass Zealot, you've got to wall off the base, surely! What the hell? He's going to have to pull all the SCVs! Cure! He's hiding behind the siege tanks right now with the Marines. The SCVs have been pulled. Nothing's inside the bunker. The Immortal is hammering the tanks. Oh my gosh, I think Hiro's going to kill him. I think Hiro might kill him. This Banshee's doing so much damage on the other side. Hiro's economy is completely gone. 1 tank survives. 13 SCVs go down. It looks like Hiro has to pull back. His Immortal and Stalker deep in the red. His Zealots are there. The Banshee does so much damage. He gets a bunch more. 7 kills there. He already killed 4 in the main. And this game is just an absolute hot mess right now. But with Cure having stim shields and Bio coming in, a Prism with just 1 Immortal, 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker there. What a crazy game. The Immortal very, very low. He does have the barrier though. And saves all 3 units after picking off a Marine. Nice move for Hiro. Unfortunately, Hiro's on 34 workers. He's going to make a Templar Archives. He is on 3 gases. Gets himself a Banshee there. There is still 1 on the right side. So that's 2 Banshees went down. And then the 3rd one will come in as a bit more of a surprise, I believe. Does he see it? Oh, Banshee just out of vision. Unless if he goes surveillance mode, he'll see it. It looks like he's not going to. Yeah, 37 workers. 3rd base. Templar Archives tries to give. He's building 3 more gateways. Sorry guys, I don't think Hiro can support 5 gates production, which he's already on right now, but he's building 3 more gateways. I think he's just crossing his fingers he survives for a few more minutes in this game. He's setting up for that position, but seems like a bit of a pipe dream right now, if you ask me. Another 3 probes go down from both sides. Cure can absorb that much better. Cure has a 3rd command center building at a similar time to the 3rd Nexus, which is of course great for him. Hiro sends 2 observers there to have a perv on that Banshee pilot. Zealot drop still scouting more than anything here. Stim's done. Shields is done. +1 is done. I mean, that's a crazy set of upgrades coming in there. +1 weapons, you can see, is now finished. Joins the upgrades tab. And our man Hiro needs to land these storms. He needs to land the absolute perfect storms to survive for the next few minutes in this game. Being down 10 workers against Terran, it's not easy. Down on upgrades as well. 2 Stalks and an Observer in the back to guard the Banshee. Cure with that early push doing really well. 2 Zealots run forward with an Observer. The Bio does stim, gets rid of it. Chat says that Cure has only a 10% win rate against Hiro. Ah, no, really? Storms. Prism's gonna go down. Well, look at that spread against the Storm. 10% eat my short, says Mr. Cure. Gets the Prism there. I'd like to see him do some more multi-prong. Banshee gets 3 probes and then does, looks like it F2'd, but that should allow it to maybe escape. Or maybe not. Stalker's too fast with Blink. Gets rid of the Banshee. I said get rids. He get rids of the Banshees. I'm going to try not to speak like that because it hurts my ears just as much as yours. 50 workers against 38. Yeah, Hiro is absolutely in the dumpster right now. I mean, he's got to play Oscar the Grouch garbage style Protoss, right? Like he's basically got to pull out some banana peels and throw them at Cure and hope he slips on them. Like there's got to be some very special tactics to win this. Gets a Viking and baits the scan, keeps the Observer alive. That's really nice. Chat says it's only 15% in series. It's about 28% in games. So Cure always takes games, but Hiro almost always wins the series. Wow, that's crazy. 85% win rate. I said it at the start because I was like, I have an inkling. Like, it's been a while since I've seen Cure beat Hiro. Maybe the stats are really one-sided. I didn't expect that one-sided. Anything above 70% is dominating. Oh, here we go. Storm's coming in. Cure, pull back. I mean, Cure should still easily win this game, but he's not stimmed yet. He's not stimmed. He's eating storms. No, there's no way. There is no way. He's too... You gotta spread, mate. Spread. What? Surely he still wins this. He's got Bio on the left. Coming out there. Bio on the right. The SCVs. Sorry, I stopped kind of commentating because I was like, this is such a desperate attack. There is no way it does anything. And yet he got 13 SCVs. It killed quite a lot of Bio. The trading is not that bad. The Mass Storm's doing something, but Hiro is still being on 38 workers. I don't think it's going to be enough by any means. Gets a Marauder, blinks away, gets a win away. But these are like good little trades. The fact that Hiro is hanging in there, you can tell he has some fortitude. And Cure might have some self-doubts just based on the history between the two players. Drops the scan there. He thinks there might be an Observer watching him. There is not. Should get himself at least 1, 2 Stalkers. Oh. Remember, every Stalker kill, very juicy, guys. Very expensive unit. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh! Please! Oh no, please pre-spread. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, his bio is so weird. And here comes the Zealot Stalker. Down 20 supply. Hero is making this actually look kind of close right now. The storms come in, the Medivacs get popped. The Zealot Stalker arc on absolutely hammering right now. No. Cure, what? You can't be losing this game, mate. You were so far ahead. You just needed to avoid the storms. He just needed to spread more. That's all he needed to do. But I don't think he can do it now. The bunker goes down. There's so many Zealots. There's 0-0 Zealots, though. If he holds this, he's still in a good spot. Even if he gets down to 20 workers, he can lose so many SCVs. But Hero seems to have this just absolute belief in his abilities to win this game no matter what. And Cure on the other hand, flailing a little bit. He's just not spreading enough, man. Like, Storm is really good, but if you spread your units out enough, you can deal with it. And Q is not as fast as Beyond or these other Terrans. So he can't be leaving his guys standing in a big clump like that. He's got it, yeah. This has to be a default. You got to, like, spread your stuff out automatically, man. I still think Hero's in the dumps. But there's just this, like, I can sense a little bit of a lack of confidence in Cure right now. And it's not just those stats that I just read, which obviously would tell you he's going to lack confidence a little bit. Hero needs a 4th base desperately. Because Terran can transfer and drop mules on this base and have a decent income. Protoss cannot. Zealot Stalker, don't clump. Oh, he tries to click the prism. Almost gets it. Really, really good micro there for Cure. He's got a spread, though. A nice spready for him. He's going to lose some SCVs on this base. I like the way Hero zones in with the storms, takes out the SCVs. Very nicely done. EMPs are good, though. The Ghosts come forward. Great EMPs. The Archon goes down, and the Bio Ghost should be able to hammer home now. The Stalker's falling. The Prism will get clicked on, and the Viking even comes forward just to make sure that Prism did go down. It could, of course, land to seal the deal, but that should be enough, I think, to secure the win here for Cure. 25 SCVs to 41 probes. Hero's, of course, going to hang in there and keep making High Templar, keep using energy recharge, keep trying to, you know, find a way to stay alive. But Q has just got enough bio coming out, and whenever he drops mules, keeps that income going off 3 orbitals. You don't want to be in these low economy situations against the Terran who's still got his orbitals up, even if it is just the initial 3. Bio moving forward, Zealots coming in the right side. SCV and Mule pulling back, Prism over there. High Templar on this side does not have any storms. Got a storm that could come in from behind. It's not ready yet, though. Snipe lands on the High Templar. Widowmine's burrowed. No more warp-ins on this base. There's bloody heck all warp-ins there in general, as Zealots are in the natural. Q are not reacting right now, but look at that. Beautiful positioning. If he doesn't get stormed, if he gets stormed, maybe works against him a little bit. Oh, decent storms. But I think it's good enough for Cure. Finally defends his natural after losing 10 SCVs. 3rd base does get lifted for him, but he's denying Cure's 3rd base. And it looks like, oh, sorry, Hero's 3rd base, I should say. And it looks like that Nexus going down, Q is just going to worry there's another base somewhere. He's on 15 workers. So right now he is so stressed because he's had so little presence on Hero's side of the map. So he's going to be wondering to himself, like, hey, do you have a 4th somewhere? If you do, maybe I'm in trouble still. We know that's not the case. Viking will take care of the Prism. He's going to be able to recall the High Templar and Zealot. That's right, guys. Zealot Archon. Good composition. Would like to see those 2 Reddit Point Medivacs repair up, but of course, gets stressed right now as Cure. Hard to have the wherewithal to do that. Oh, good feedback on a high energy Ghost. Really well done by Hero. Hero finally on 30 probes, mining almost nothing right now, is going to tap out. But that was, I think, a fair bit closer than it probably should have been. GG. Well played. Cure ties it up 1-1. Right, going into game 3 now. Hero in the bottom left side of the map, and he's gone for a pylon and still scouting. Okay, all right. We just do not want to die to that double proxy barracks marauder. Fair call. I mean, I've actually been making fun of Cure ever since he retired Neeb in, I think, 2022. Katowice, I believe it was it the first Katowice back, or was it 2023? I think it was one of those. The one when Neeb's last tournament. Neeb would have made it out of the group stage if Cure didn't get him with the double proxy marauder gamble in the 3rd game of their series on I want to say Ancient Cistern, I think was the map. And Q has done it from around that time at least once in every best of 5, often in a best of 3 of PvT. And he has an insane win rate with it against everyone that's not Hero. If you guys remember, it was this exact map. He did it to Hero in the grand finals of the GSL. Oh, Hero almost gets the probe, so close. But he did it down here, remember, guys. And he ran in. Hero didn't scout at all. And Hero just, like, instantly went, oh, God, what's happening? Pulled all of his probes. Force field surrounded the first two Marauders with a force field and a bunch of probes, and then just, like, won the game. Like, Hero had no idea what was happening. And he just fluked the most perfect defense we've ever seen. It was hilarious. It was actually very funny, man. It was very funny. Kua looked devastated. He couldn't believe it. And it was funny because even after he won, Hero looked so scared. Like, he actually looked shook. Because Hero was like, I had no idea that was happening. He completely tricked me. Like, I am so lucky I survived. But Hero is one of those guys who can look like there's more adrenaline coursing through his veins than there really should be. Looks like he's panicking and he'll still play so damn well. Early tech lab here for Kua. So it's a nice 1-Rax expand. Did have to build it off location, but that's fine. No one's lost any units. The probe got home, of course. And it's going to be, like I said, early second gas, early cyclone, and then I think he wants to get a starport pretty quickly as well, most likely. That's why he got the second gas so fast, down at about 2 minutes. Stalker into Sentry for Hero will give him some good scouting ability. Insta-chrono on the natural. And how fast? Starport or Cyclone first? Okay, he's going to go Cyclone first. So he wants the first 100 gas to go into that. And then the next 100 gas will go into that Starport right here. Notice no add-on because he doesn't have the gas. He needs the starport, so he'll build one more marine, then he'll build a reactor. Orbital on the way on the natural as well. Pretty solid opening for Kua. The Cyclone, of course, can limit the hallucinated Phoenix scouting, and it can be quite aggressive on the ground as well. Pig, have you tried Stormgate recently at all? No, guys. I've just been back after, obviously, I've been away for a while, so I played a tiny bit of the campaign. Got a little frustrated on the mission I was playing because it was a bit hard to figure out what was going on. Zombie Grub told me she found that mission just didn't have a lot of direction, so a lot of people got confused playing that mission, but I haven't played the multiplayer in a while. I'll give it a go at some point. We've got a lot of things going on right now. I got a Mechabellum tournament this week. It's going to be fun to play against other content creators. That's just really fun because I don't get to collab with other content creators that much, so we'll be playing against a bunch of the Age of Empires and StarCraft and just other strategy game guys who are all going to be on a private ladder competing and playing some like show matches and stuff. It should just be fun to do that. And I'm going to be spending a lot of time trying to improve my Age of Empires 2 skills, mostly starting in October and November, like going really hardcore, but I want to start already dabbling into that again and kind of getting all the Age of Empires rust off and trying to remember how to play some random map. Try and maybe learn a water build for the first time rather than banning water maps like I normally do and just spamming games on Arabia. We'll see how we go. Anyway, Cyclone Marine coming in. Third Nexus. Dude, that's a very fast third Nexus into Forge. Heroes units not in position. Do we go for the pylon? I think he's just going to go for a pylon or two. These units are all the way over there. Big thank you, Asseltech. Thank you so much for the support. We'll give you guys big shout-outs after the game. Right now, Stalker's coming over. And look at this. He's ready for the rotate. Oh, that's cute. Because 3 Stalkers barely beats this. But Kua being so respectful. Kua could unload and actually kill these Stalkers. Like, Hero... I mean, yeah, you can pull back weak ones and stuff, but the Cyclone lock-on's really effective. But he doubles back. Oh, early armor! Hero's going to once again go charge. Charge is going to... It's already queued, right? Yeah, it's already queued. I'm like, there's no way he goes armor unless he's rushing charge. So he's going to play once again fast Zealots, but this time he's got a faster third and faster +1 armor. So Hero is kind of like, he's getting more economy this time because there is a faster expand out of Kua, but he's still doing the same kind of realm of things. Oh, Reactor is such a big snipe. Takes 36 seconds to build those. And he picks off a bunch of Marines. At the same time, counter drop is going in, though. He needs to get out of here. Stalker's trying to defend with probes on that third. A lot of probes going down. Stalkers do take out the medevac, but 8 probes do fall. And I think he lost a few Stalkers on the front as well. How many? I mean, at the end of the day, units lost is dead even. 12 units aside. But 8 probes did go down. I don't know. There's a Liberator that's going to come in. If all the Stalkers barrel across the map, the Liberator would be amazing. But he's actually stayed at home. I think Hero's playing quite responsible. I think Kua was expecting him to lean into the aggression here, and he just didn't do it. Liberator comes into that main base. Oh my gosh. Do we have warp-ins available? Yeah. 5 gateways coming in as well. 2 probes. Not that much. Q is going to go to the back corner, but he's going to take massive damage doing so. He's almost going to be done for, yeah. 18 hit points. He's 1 or 2 shots from death. He's going to have to siege that in the corner. It's basically out of action for the rest of this game. It's only going to be useful if Hero F2's back to the front. Hero's F2 discipline's been really good in this matchup recently. I think it's only really when, like, Clem gets the momentum and movement going and is just attacking and moving and keeping this constant fighting going that, like, it kind of makes Hero panic a bit, and he F2's a little bit more in situations like this where he knows he should leave units at home. And don't get me wrong, it's Hero. He'll inevitably F2 at some point, but yeah. +1 armor's done. I'd love to see him start +1 attack immediately and just keep chronoing it. It's so good to do that. Pylon's going to see these Marines come in. Going to stim to make sure he just gets rid of that probe as well as the pylon. Just going to pick up and pull away. Nice little 8 Marine drop. Not too big of a commitment. 3 probes. Templar Archives comes in. Ah, on 2 gas? No, okay, he does have the 3rd and 4th gas. Just started mining here on that. So it's 3 bases, 4 gases, +1 armor does start up pretty damn quick. Not bad at all. I really feel like Hero's build is nice and smooth. Then again, Q's macro is excellent. 3rd's out. He's got 58 workers. His worker production is so good. It's just the lack of presence on the map, right? Only having a little 8 Marine drop in the corner and nothing else, because he's worried about Heroes swarming in. He doesn't know Heroes pivoted away from Zealots into Storm. If he knew that, he could send a double drop to go roaming the left side of the map, cleaning up these pylons. Because your job right now as the Terran is actually to limit the Protoss' vision. That's the most important thing to do. Clear these pylons and you know, try to make sure Hero doesn't just see everything that's happening. Because the more presence you have, the harder it is for Hero to justify taking an early 4th, taking an early 5th. But if Hero can just shut that down, which he absolutely F2'd to do, by the way. His whole army's coming together now. He's going to drop a 4th. He's going to keep probing, adding cannon and battery in some of his bases as well. And he does warp in 2 new Stalkers. It's such a Hero thing to F2 everything to the front and then warp in new units to replace the ones that he just F2'd. We've talked a lot over the years about Hero and his redundant APM. He often does actions that neuter his previous actions, and then he has to redo them. It's amazing that he plays as fast and effectively as he does when he's often spending a large amount of his time repeating actions that he's already done unnecessarily. And that's what's kind of impressive about Hero, because it's like he's fighting a built-in handicap with the way he plays, but he makes it work. 3 Zealots, really good, clean, 300 minerals value, always good. 4th Command Center's there. Armory's coming up. Ghost Academy really wants to play a long game, but he's got to deal with the storms. Oh gosh, here we go. 2-pronged attack, 2-pronged attack. Hero full committing. He's full sending. Cancel the Command Center. Command Center's going to go down. Command Center does die. The bio's a bit too close. There's just not that much bio either, remember. There's just not enough here. He doesn't have enough bio. Cure. He's got Marines in the main base. They're coming back. The Zealot count wasn't that crazy, but they're clearing that 3rd of work as the bio comes forward. Can he get rid of the Archons? That Archon will go down. The next one that's morphing will go down as well before it can finish morphing. He does survive, and actually, Cure defends this with style. I thought he was going to lose a lot more. 10 SCVs go down. Absolutely valid to do that because he's still only down 7 workers at the end. He was being a little greedy, I think. Pushing out. Is it too ambitious? Perhaps. Oh, he may have got a bit too confident, but his micro is good. Those Zealots are going to get hammered. Stalkers have to back away from the mines. The bio keeps the mines alive. Units lost tab 800 in his favor. This is really good here for Cure. That being said, Hero has Storm, energy recharge. He's warping in High Templar, doing energy recharge. He's going to a 2nd Forge. He's got a 2nd Robo and a Robo Bay, 5th base, and map control. And he's still got Stalkers on the front. So if Cure could split units out and start hitting both sides, that would be good. But doing that against a Hero who is just smashing, headbutting in, is very difficult. Also, the 4th Command Center getting killed was massive. Because it's not just the minerals, it's the delay on the 4th Command Center is so big. Yeah, that's really big. Right now, economy's fine for Cure, but in 2 minutes, it's going to be bad if he can't establish that 4th. Zealots taking big Widow Mine hits. No stim here. Oh my gosh, he clumped up his units. I don't like that move for Cure. Cure, a bit of a slow reaction on that fight. When he did react, he kind of clumped units that were already pre-spread a little. Oh, good medevac snipe there for Hero. Dude, Hero's army is so much weaker than Cure's, but just the threat of the storm is keeping Cure pinned back, and Hero's going to keep attacking. Hero just says, hey, it's better to attack than defend. I'm really good at attacking. I'm not that good at defending. If I just keep headbutting into you, this is going to go reasonably well for me because I have so much economy behind it. I don't know if that's really the case, You know, Hero is one of the few players who can be down 40 supply, continuing to attack and finding success with it. But it's such a crazy playstyle. Double Robo pumping behind this. Q has got to get out here, but he's just struggling so hard to get any map vision. This is what I'm talking about. He's so paranoid. Remember what I said? Hero has put him in kind of this scared state in this series by always jumping on him and being so aggressive that Q is afraid to split his army up. And at this moment, there is no way Hero is going to be able to defend multi-prong drops, libs coming in, all that sort of stuff. Looks like the lib did maybe try to come in the main at some point because it's gone. Don't know when that happened. Not able to get the 5th base. It's up. 82 workers, guys. Fantastic worker count here. Hero needs to transfer 8 workers. 11.5 minutes is when this base half mine's out. He doesn't pull enough workers. You're meant to drop this down to 8 workers, but I've criticized this from Hero before. Like, anyone who's studied the game knows this mineral patch is about to run out, and you should drop down to 8 workers, but he looks at the number. He always transfers based off the number. That's kind of a noob mistake that most pros do these days. The old school pros, funnily enough, some of them don't do it. Zealot Archon coming forward. High Templar spread. They can always pick up another Prism. That Prism is low on hit points. Very clumped to the High Templar. Does cop a nice EMP. The Colossus is so scary though. The Viking count's not there just yet. This is a really scary moment for Cure. This whole game has been scary, this whole series. He's got 2-1 against 2-1. Equal upgrades on both sides. The Bio doesn't really want to stim again, but they have to. He's so heavy on Marines. Good against Zealots, not good against Colossus. Vikings are coming forward. The Marines do go forward. The Prism goes down. The Vikings will be able to take care of the Colossus, and that is going to be a good victory here for Cure. But is it? No, he lost 21 workers in that fight. Oh, pulling workers into Colossus Archon hurts, doesn't it? Cure's got 4 bases up, though. He can recover. He absolutely can recover. Hero's trades are now falling behind. 3,000 resources behind in the trades. Cure's going to try to counterattack, but Storm and double Robo Colossus. If he ever gets rid of these 2 Robos, Hero's dead. So that's actually the weak point. And I always talk about building your Robos at your front, very dangerous. The Natural's a bit safer. The main, arguably even safer, though a little vulnerable to drops. We'll see how this goes. Can we squeeze in a 5th command center as Cure? It looks like the answer is no. He's too busy rebuilding his workers. He's got +3 on the way. I think he might want to stop building workers at about 60 workers, Cure, and build another command center instead as a higher priority. Storm's scary, but it only clips the edge of his arm. He just forces him not to chase, which is the main advantage. This is where the problem is. Remember what I said about map control? Cure needs to split a double drop-off. Right now, there's almost no stalkers on the map. There's no way to really catch drops. If he can get a drop to go clear this top left, that's good. But otherwise, he's going to be warping in Zealots right next to your base, right? Like the map control for Hero is getting out of control. Hero's about to take a 6th base. He's keeping Cure claustrophobic with this forwards pressure. Right now, Hero, and I always talk about this, he's rearing up on his hind legs, and he's frilling out his neck fans, he's waving his arms around, he's making loud noises. He's been doing this for a long time. And don't get me wrong, he has an actual scary army, but there have been a lot of moments in the last few minutes where his army is small, it's not that strong, it definitely can't fight in more than one place at once with the way his storm works, but he's scared Cure. He's made out like he's the predator when he was actually the prey. Now he's actually the predator. 2-2 against 2-2 upgrades. Big army pushing in. Those High Templar so clumped. Hero's High Templar micro is always a little bit baffling, isn't it? But he lands a good storm. No EMPs to be spoken of to land there. Lands a good EMP. Last storm is gone, but the bio army is damaged. And even though there's no storm right now, actually, he's going to have one soon. Looks for a feedback. Doesn't quite get it. Nice snipe. Cure's got a good army. He needs a bit of time to heal up. What's he got? 8 medevacs, 7 Vikings, 1 more Viking coming out, 3 upgrades on the way. Cure's just going to keep making him stim and say, haha, you're never getting a chance to heal back up to full life. 3 Colossus, more Zealots. Has he got more High Templar? Yeah, he's filled up a High Templar there. So he keeps warping in High Templar, energizing them and bringing them forwards. Stalker's standing and swinging with the bio. Actually taking a very good focus fire trade there. Hero's rich. 6th base, 7th base on the way in the bottom right side. He's going to go for it. He's going to send it. He's only got 1 High Templar, but it might be all he needs. He lands a good storm on some of those Marines. EMP does land, though. He's going to pull back. The High Templar does not have another storm. The Vikings getting focused. That's the big move. That's the big move. He's focusing the Vikings so well. Really good pullback micro here for Hero. Does lose a lot of units, though. Cure chasing really nicely. He's got to watch for those Colossus lasers on those clumped Marines, though. I think Cure wise to pull back. He's traded 4,000 resources more efficiently. Is that enough? 4,500? Nah. Needs a bit more because he doesn't have a 5th base. He's floating his main out to become a 5th base, and Cure still has very little room for error. Don't get me wrong, The core base units of Protoss are a bit weaker than the Marauders, the EMPs, but the power of Colossus and Storm, like this army can crumble so rapidly if a High Templar comes in from a flank and lands the Storm in the right spot, right? If these Colossus land some good beams in the middle of the Marines, they will just roast. Oh, and Hero's playing obnoxiously, right? He's just staying so active. He's keeping Cure pinned into this one spot. He's penned into his base like a bloody wild animal. Hero's gone and built a bunch of sticks around him to make this a terrible situation for him. Just doesn't have freedom of movement. Bio, Colossus are on top of him. He's got to get over here. Cure takes what looked like a really good fight there, but he's got to be really careful because it's just so easy for Hero to replenish. Gets rid of the base though. I think Cure's really starting to take control now. There's 3 Immortals, 4 Colossus, 2 High Templar. These are the only 2 High Templar, but you need double EMPs or snipes to deal with those. Cure's micro has been great. Top left base is up. Hero's still on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bases against a new 4th base for Cure, so 7 against 5. Bio trying to hold. They're a bit clumped, though, against the Colossus. The Stalkers clear the Vikings way too quickly. Disaster for Cure. That was a disaster. He lost all of his Vikings. He's got 4 more out, 4 more on the way. If he can get back and not fight until he's got 8 more, that might be really good. But this army is so scary. He needs a minute to heal. His medevacs are dry right now. They're out of juice. He's got no healing juice. He's got no Vikings. He can't afford to lose this orbital or he's dead. If he loses this orbital, his income is just too bad. His army's too weak, though. The Bio gets rid of a Colossus, which is nice, but only 1. He doesn't have enough Vikings to finish up on that. There's no Storm. Who needs Storm when the Bio's this wounded? The army that's there is so good. Mass Zealot's coming forward right now. SCV's going down. Command Center goes down, and that could spell disaster because Cure, on 55 workers, he's only got 1 planetary and 2 orbitals. He scans the left. He sees there's a base there. He might be thinking about tapping. He's just been stuck in his corner all game. Hero just playing with his food right now. And it's so crazy because remember, there was a point where he was attacking at 95 supply Hero versus 135 supply Cure. That is wild to think of, but that is the power of a Protoss with absolutely zero fear or respect for his Terran opponent. Walks in, snipes the orbital, and just walks away. I've played so many of these guys on the ladder, and it's infuriating to play against this sort of Protoss, the no-fear Protoss, because these guys will legitimately take terrible fights, but it's so hard to read what they've got behind it and when you should punish them for it. The Vikings come forward, take out the Colossus, but there's no more Colossus behind that, and there's too many Vikings getting roasted by Storm and Stalkers. This orbital tries to float out, but he loses another 19 workers. Cure is on his last legs. He has to win with this army, but he's overstimmed. Hero knows he can just disengage, make more Storm, and wear him down because this army is far too weak. He scans the top left. Of course, Hero has expanded right next to Cure. If that wasn't a sign that you're pretty much done for, then I don't know what is. He's going to the top left. He finds another Nexus here, and Cure has to just be baffled. The movement of Hero, the way he's constantly moving in and around, making you stim defensively rather than aggressively, and letting your medevacs never have time to heal you up. There is an activity rate from Hero, an in-your-face smothering nature, and one has to wonder, is it sneaking drops out that would help Cure here? Is it getting libs out for harassment? Is it just punishing Hero by diving on his army a little bit more with a pre-spread of your army coming in from 2 sides and trapping these Stalkers and these Zealots on their front? It's so hard to say because with the Storm there ever threatening, the map becomes a dangerous place to hang out. $4,000 resources lost difference. Not enough. Not with the economic disparity. It's going to energy recharge that High Templar most likely. Yep, I mean Storm from the left, Storm from the right as well with the Prism. Mass sandwich coming in. Oh no, Storm comes in from the left, and these Storms are going to be brutal. That's it. Has to tap out. Cure gets surrounded, and Hero does take the 2-1 lead. The ability that Cure was defending his third really well, but losing the 4th command center and then just getting stuck on the defense for a little bit too long. He needed to find a way to sneak out. I don't know if it's just sneaking 8 Marines out or what, but the way he had gateways outside his base, pylons everywhere, Hero just had too much control over this map. All right, guys. We've got Cure in the bottom right side of the map. Hero in the top left side. Dude, and this is so funny because I'm thinking about, you guys know how Cure, when he's on point, he never loses TVP to anyone except Hero. And it's like games like that last one, he'll just survive and he'll like fight back and make these crazy comebacks or turn it into a weird, crazy base trade. It's so funny how Hero just doesn't let him do that. He's like, no, No, you don't. No, you don't have a chance to move on the map. How dare you even try? I've like I said, I've played against these Protoss players, these no fear Protoss players, and it's always funny because legitimately the catch that always gets you is you have much less map vision with Terran, right? When you're pinned in your base like that, especially. But in general, you don't have observers, etc. There's always people who be like, oh, scans. Yeah, have fun scanning the entire map at a high level and enjoy being stuck in Platinum 2 at the highest, guys, if you're trying to use scans for map control. It doesn't really work, right? So point being, you kind of end up in this position where the counter to your opponent, like if you sneak drops over or get some squads out on the map countering, the very aggressive guy can't deal with it. He's always wide open on defense, never has proper defensive ring of vision, never has units on defensive duty. The problem is whenever you try to move that drop out, it's always when he like dives in to an attack, which if you didn't just leave with a double drop would be a terrible choice for the Protoss. But because you just left with 20 supply of bio medevac, he has just enough to overwhelm your third while your drops are still flying across the map. And then you can like warp in or recall and just be miles ahead. So there's this thing where like the Terran army is better than the Protoss, but if the Protoss doesn't let the Terran take the fight over to the Protoss side of the map, the Protoss can get away with like that. There was a point where Hero had 2 High Templar and like 4 Stalkers on the map. He was at 82 probes making double upgrades, double Colossus, and he was just staying in Kewr's face and not letting him move out. And I was like, yeah, I mean, this is just really smart play for Hero. He's not letting Kewr move out. And Kewr was so traumatized from those crazy Zealot Stalker attacks. And whenever he did start thinking about it, bam, another big Zealot Stalker attack would dive in. Like Templar storming him this way and that way, yeah. Marine Scouts around. This has been no scout up to this point for Kewr. Once again, playing 1-Rax Expand. It's fascinating because, yeah, Hero... He kind of lets him get to more of a nice established 3-base setup when Kewr plays 1-Rax Expand. I think the double gas opening might be more effective for Kewr. Just looking at the first 2 games and how it opened, I actually think double gas, Hero's response was pretty suboptimal, right? Like he's going like 6-gate charge on 2-base with no forge. Like Hero is beyond paranoid. So if you can open double gas but then transition into a macro game or just shove really hard, I think it could be really fantastic. Is the audio lagging out? Says Triple X. Try refreshing and stuff, change browser, etc. But you guys, please check. Put in nice headphones or speakers. Anyone else, let me know if that's the issue. Sometimes that is a general issue where I just need to restart the audio application. The application audio capture on OBS. But it looks like it is okay. Thanks for the heads up, though. I've sometimes streamed for hours and the audio is like stuttering the whole time. And it literally is one of the most awful sounds I've ever heard, and no one's mentioned it in chat. Like one guy mentioned it, no one else responded. Everyone else is just chatting with me as normal. And then someone's like, hey, do you know the audio is bad? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, it sounds awful. And I'll like open up my own stream and it's like, and I'm like, there is 500 people that have been watching this for 2.5 hours and one guy complained and I didn't happen to see that message. And I'm like, are you guys like insane? Like, does everyone have the sound off? Like, what's going on here? Are they all bots? Are my viewers bots? Oh, so those definitely are moments where, because as a streamer, you know, you're often not monitoring the audio of your own stream. You rely on Twitch chat letting you know if there's a production issue, but sometimes people are just like, I love audio garble in my ears. The SC2 audience is so geriatric, they don't even notice. They're just like, they all have so much tinnitus and stuff, it just sounds normal. Cyclone Marine Drop comes in. That's an early Forge again. So Hero really likes this quick third base into early Forge against 1-Rax Expand. That's what's dangerous. This is a pretty greedy opening. I think Hero was ahead in the last game until he headbutted with a few of his attacks and threw away a lot of army. And then he was in a bit of a dicier position, but he made it work. So I actually think this is kind of interesting because Kewr, he's going to go for a Marine tank stim push. I love it. Yeah, it's going to be hard to get across the map, but if he can get in before charge, or maybe before armor is done, yeah, Marine tank could be really good here. Tank shot, 70 damage. Almost completely wipes the shields off one of those. Cyclone coming forward as well. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 7 Stalkers on the front. Cyclone, another lock on. It's a good push. SCV pull. Here we go. No time for charge to even finish. Guys, he's only got like 12 Marines, but Stim's going to be done. Rallying 4 Marines at a time. It's just about getting in there as early and fast as possible. Stalkers are chipping away at the SCVs little by little. He's going to bypass the third into the natural, it looks like, using that high ground a little bit. Ooh, is it worth sieging out here? Yeah, he's going to siege. It's a bit far back for a siege, but his SCV count's already severely diminished. Hero did a really good job of using the mobility of those Stalkers and wearing this push down. Charge is just not quite ready, but the Stalkers continuing to fight out front just so well with the Blink Micro. He's going to have to siege these tanks soon. Can't wait much longer on these tanks. He's losing too many units. The Marines, though, are there. He's sieged up in between the bases. He's going to start a bunker. Really needs another bunker. That Cyclo might be blocking. He's a bit low on minerals. That pylon on the left side could go down. These Marines need to guard, but dude, there's so many Zealots coming in. I think Hero, if he can just surround this, if he goes now, I don't think he needs to wait for armor. I think he just goes now. There we go. Stalkers blink. One tank goes down. The second tank could get targeted. It will get taken down by the next volley. There is a third tank focusing those Stalkers really nicely. The Guardian Shield. Oh, Guardian Shield's so good. He does pull away from the Guardian Shield, but that means the bunkers and the tanks are gone, which means Q has lost the real oomph to this push. The scary anchoring long-range units that make it hard to deal with. And Cure, how many SCVs did he lose in the total? 18 workers in the SCV pool. Hero has 3 mineral lines up. The unupgraded Zealot Stalker now with +1 armor kicking in. Oh me, oh my. And this army's about to get trounced. Beautiful chase here by Hero. I think it makes a lot of sense to chase him. There's no combat shields. The medevacs are low. The bio's already wounded. You can get that medevac as well. Oh, that's so juicy. Remember, guys, he's building medevacs one at a time. His starport doesn't have an add-on. His third barracks doesn't have an add-on. And Cure right now is down in the dumps against a very aggressive Hero. It's just causing mayhem, man. 3 bases. I mean, he could go 4th. Yeah, I love this. Probe's already there. Drop a 4th Nexus. 4 base against 2 base. He's adding attack upgrades. Robo's on the way. Man, Hero just looks so good against Cure. This is a head-to-head matchup where Cure looks like he is not sure what to do. It's impressive in hindsight to think that they went to the wire in the GSL finals. That just shows how well Cure found the weak spots of Hero in that GSL finals, and how Hero seems to have evolved since then. Things like this really fast SCV pull not finding the mark this time around. Hero up 30 supplies, staying on the front because why wouldn't he? I mean, the Zealots just charging in. I don't know if that's a good trade. 4 Zealots for like 3 Marines, but I think he's so far out in economy, he's like, any trade is a good trade. Because if you keep making him stim at home, and just even if you trade it like, you know, cost and efficiency, I mean, look at the income. It's almost identical. 3. It'll be bigger when the mules aren't mining. Remember, the mules are intermittent. They drop, and then there's times where they aren't there. So it's always hard to look at the overall income. I do wish we had a few more stats in StarCraft, like total resources mined. Been getting back into watching some AoE too, and I love all the stats in Capture Age. Total resources harvested, and idle worker time, having all that stuff, just being able to look at that live in a game is so interesting because it tells you so much about the overall amount of income that's being harvested and stuff. Marine tank SCV trying to move forward. Zealot drop goes into the main base, and he's going to absolutely swarm him. TVP looks pretty skewed. It definitely has been massively shifted in the Protoss' favor. Some people still are in denial of that. But this matchup has been this way for a long time. I think even previous patch, like 8 months ago, I'm pretty sure Hero still beat. He's had Q's number for a long time. Zealot Stalker Immortal coming forward. Marine tank going to be stutter stepping backwards. I think this is just one of those extreme examples. We've got a matchup that's shifted in the Protoss favor a little bit in the last patch, and then oh my lord, Hero always dominates him, so he's got the confidence. And you can see Q. I mean, he's desperately trying to fight here. But he's been outgunned. That first attack was an all-in attack, guys. He pulled his SCVs. It got held. If you're wondering why I'm not commentating the fights that much, I'm sorry. I just want to talk about the context of what's going on. Because if you pull 20 workers across the map, lose them all, lose your entire army, and don't do a single bit of worker damage, turns out the 3-base Protoss is going to have a time. GG, well played. Hero there slaps it down. He looked really comfortable against One Rax Expand. Like I said, I think the double gas openings in the first 2 games actually had Hero feeling a bit more uncomfortable. But Cure maybe didn't realize how on the edge and on the cusp Hero was in those games. GG, well played. Hero gets the 3-1 victory and goes to the next step.